Who is that last one? When I studied the life of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and when I learned about Islam, that fit the niche for me. That made sense. And that, to me, explained the continuity of the chain of revelation up to its completion.
Tell us, Dr. Brown, we went from atheism to trying to make Christianity fit to Islam. They want to know what happened. How did you stumble across Islam and accept all the tenets and the teachings, and now you're a Muslim?
Well, basically I had all of these unresolved questions in my mind. I believed in God as one God. I never believed in the Trinity. I believed in Jesus Christ as a man, and as the man, the second to last, the one who predicted the final prophet. And I didn't believe in him as God or Son of God. I believed in the chain of prophethood. I believed in the mercy of our Creator, and I believed that our Creator would not leave mankind without guidance and without definitive guidance, guidance that once a person saw it is easy to understand and easy to make part of your life. I gave up on Christianity. I studied and studied and studied until the point where I felt hopeless, basically. I felt I could not find any Christian sect that represented my beliefs. And a lot of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Upside down to my understanding. You know, in the West, Islam is portrayed with a media bias that is no mystery to anybody who has studied it. I was raised to believe that Muslims were a bunch of towel-headed terrorists riding camels out in the desert, planning on how next they're going to destroy Western civilization. And it was only learning about Islam as its true teachings are, and coming to know Muslims and living amongst them, that I just found out, as I said, everything's just upside down. Look, you find good and bad people everywhere. You can't avoid that. You find good and bad people everywhere. It is the vast majority of all humanity. You get a few bad people, the media grabs a hold of that and spins it the way they want to. And what I found was just that. I just found that everything I had ever heard was media spin, just trying to make Islam look bad. And the real truth was that I just found that Muslims were my family. The vast majority of them, I felt, have softer hearts, better manners, just more kindness and more of that humanity that I was looking for. In the West, to me, things are getting harder. People's hearts are getting hardened. They're not as generous with one another. The kindness is disappearing. Materialism is taking over. The tensions of the rat's race of life in the West is controlling people. And I just found amongst Muslims the exact opposite. I found these things I told you and more. And the living example of Islam, is an example of modesty. It's an example of kindness, generosity, truthfulness. And most of all, it's the example of submission to our Creator. And that, to me, is life the way it's supposed to be lived.
It's very simple. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Brown, for being with us.
My pleasure.
You can visit Dr. Brown at leveltruth.com?
Leveltruth.com or 8thscroll.com.